Okay, boy say, start off with an interesting question, and as we speak, hopefully we'll develop it. Everybody knows the mazel of Adar's fish. Every chodesh, every month has a mazel. Whatever the word is for it in English, I'm not sure, so we'll just call it mazel in the Holy Tongue. And the mazel of Adar is fish. Question is, what does fish have to do with Adar? What does fish have to do with Purim? Why fish? You can add a lot of other symbols. That's the question. That's what I would like to address. And hopefully we'll walk out with some wisdom. I don't know how many people studied fish, but the Torah as always studies everything. And there's a Merdig of Medrash. Medrash says in Bereshis Rabbah, Sadik Zayin Gimel, if you want the source. Ma dogim halalu, Delim b'mayim, fish live in water, oceans, rivers, whatever. Kevin sheyardesh tipa achas, malamalo, when a drop of rain, when it rains from upstairs, from heaven, from on top. The Kabul Maisa, the fish, every fish in the water picks himself up and he wants to get bitzimoy, a tremendous thirst. I don't understand how a fish can be thirsty. How does a fish want water? Why does a fish want water? He lives in water. He has all the water he wants. And he says, the Medrash says, the Medrash, Kamishalai tam mayim ne'olam, as if he never tasted water. I can understand, you run a marathon, you take a sip of water when you finish. Maybe you take some OJ, orange juice, or AJ, apple juice, but the fish is in water. Oh, what do I learn from the fish? Kachem Yisrael. Same thing with the Jewish people, Delim b'mayim. Jews grow up in water, and we know that the only water that we have is Torah, in my military. So just like when a Jew hears something, he wants to make sure it goes in. They hear a new thing, it's whoa. He accepts a new thought with tremendous excitement. Oh, that's the same thing. So that's a comparison, as if he never had any Torah before. You hear a new piece of Torah, you want to, it's like you never had any Torah before, no matter how much Torah you have. So that's why, that's a comparison to fish. Okay, and one step further, that's good comparison. I'm going to say, Rabbi, all is fine and dandy, but we learn Torah 360, 354 days a year. So why is the month of Adar? What's special about Adar that we make the mazel of Adar fish? It could have been another month. It could have been Nisan. It could have been Iyar. Why Adar? We're still left with the original question we asked. What does fish really have to do with Adar? You're right. Fish tells me I have to have an appreciation for every word of Torah, every idea of Torah. But what? Rav Hirsch, if you want to look it up in Bereshis, he says over there on the pasuk, "V'yidru l'rayv b'karev haaretz." The pasuk says in Vayechid, the beginning of Vayechid, it says when Yaakov blesses his grandsons, "Hamalach haber leisi mikol ra," the Malach, the angel that redeemed me from all bad stuff, trials, tribulations, traumas, turbulence. Yivarches hanorim, v'karevem shmi, v'yidru l'rayv b'karev haaretz. They should be like fish in the land, wherever. Be like fish. What's the fish? What is fish? Rav Hirsch, you guys should read it in English. If whoever has a Rav Hirsch, it's a must read. 4 or 5 lines on the words V'yidru l'rayv. This is what he says here. Where did a fish live? Mimamakim she'ayin adam hene shaletis. From the eye of a person. Does not deceive the fish. The fish you're going to eat, the white fish you're going to eat for Shabbos, or the tuna you eat in the middle of the week, or vice versa. Whatever fish you eat, you don't see the fish. Nobody sees the fish. And the fish have such a peaceful and tranquil life. that the people upstairs, people on land, not upstairs, the person that stands by the top of the water there, on the edge of the water, a person doesn't know the life of a fish. No, he doesn't. He never studied. He never saw it. You want to study how lions live. You can study it. Lions, tigers, elephants, whatever you want. But a fish, a person walking on dry land has no concept of fish. And he says that nobody has any idea of the life. And what does a fish not have? Fish has no worries. You live on earth, you're worried about this, you're worried about that, you're worried about the market, you're worried about real estate, you're worried about the dollar, you're worried. Fish, no problems, everything's good for the fish. Fish is doing okay. No worries, no concerns. He always has water, he's never thirsty. It's not such a bad life. But the people that live in the water, totally concealed, totally, so to say, hidden. Yeah, that's a good life. That's what the verse says. And he says, when Yaakov Avinu says to Ephraim and Menashe, "V'yidgul roi b'karev haaretz," he's telling them on my side, I want you to conduct your life like the fish. No worries, no concerns, quiet, peaceful, tranquil life. I'm going to put some more words. I'm mistapkim, they're satisfied, they're content. Fish is happy in the water. What's the famous story that everybody knows with Mr. Fox and Mr. Fish? Mr. Fox says to Mr. Fish, a Gemara in Brachas, at the end of Brachas, Mr. Fox says to Mr. Fish, why don't you come out on land? Me and you can live together. Fish can only live in the water. Mr. Fox is a big liar. Mr. Fish says to Mr. Fox, you're the wisest of the animals. You're stupid. But anyway, that's the pshat over here. That the fish has the good life, concealed life. Nobody, good life. That's what Yaakov tells his grandsons. We still didn't get to Adam. I go one step further. So Mardik Gemara in Shabbos, I don't know if it was mentioned or it will be mentioned next week. Amar Ravacha, Bar Yaakov, the Kan Meidor Rabbi L'Raisa, here's a notification. What's the notification? Amar Rava, Hafal Pikain, even though the Jews received the Torah the year 2448, Hadar Kibbur B'Mei Achashverosh. They accepted the Torah. No, on Purim, the time of Achashverosh. How do I know that? Says the Gemara. Kimu v'kiblu. They were Makayim, they obeyed what they were Makabel back in the day. Kabbalah Satayr. Rashi says, Amari de Kazach. Rashi says, Me'avas Hanes. Every Jew that lived through the Purim time, Purim episode, Purim miracle, knew that Hashem did a miracle for the Jewish people. What was Haman's decree? Haman's decree was lahash milaroi or la'abe. Violate, obliterate, and decimate. That's what Haman wanted to do. He didn't give you a chance. Like the Inquisition said, the Inquisition were very nice people. You have a choice. If you don't adopt Christianity, we kill you. But you have a choice. You can adopt Christianity. But Haman didn't give you a choice. Amalek doesn't give you a choice. Hitler didn't give you a choice. He didn't give you a choice, Hitler. You want to become a Gentile? No Gentiles. You're a Jid, you're a Juif, dead. We're going to kill you. No second chance. No chance to save yourself. So the Jews accepted the Torah on Purim voluntarily. There's a difference. We said it many times, I think. Should have said it. We say it many times. The difference if you do something because you're forced to do something, or if you do something on your own free volition. Two different things, two different night and day. But anyway, can I get a step further? Let's go a little bit back in time. Let's go to the first man. First man, the Gemara says in Sanhedrin, test. Yudah ben Tema says, Adam Arisha Mesa Began Eden. First man, Adam, was sitting in the Garden of Delights, Gan Eden. What was going on in Gan Eden when Adam was sitting in Gan Eden? Hayu Malachi Hasharis, the angels, roasted for him wine, and gave him pure, good, absolute wine. Adam looked in, the Nachash. Snake looked in, hates its boy, Nachash. Nachash looks in. Rabbi Chvaydai, he saw what was happening with Adam. They opened the door that he shouldn't open. The Niskane boy, they became jealous. What's going on over here? He's getting wine and meat and this and that. Whoa! He's jealous. The Gemara says he was jealous. And then the Gemara says before, okay, how did man mess up? Because he had the snake, he had two snakes. If man would have been good, he would have had a snake doing all his work, one going east, one going west. It says tougher than Dharma in the Gemara. Doesn't make a difference, north and south, or east and west. The Gemara says north and the other south. Tougher than Dharma. Dharma and tougher. But since man blew it, so we got to do the work that the snake could have been doing for ourselves. So we see a Mordechai Gezach here. The character of the snake was the skinny boy. He looked or he shouldn't look. The biggest sin. Stam. Why do you care what the other person has? Myron didn't. So the Nachash didn't. What are you jealous for? God gives you what he wants you to have. We've spoken about that so many times, we can't speak about that enough. I'll read the Gemara, which we may have read once, but every time something new comes out from reading the same Gemara. Gemara says on Daftes and Saita, V'chein matzinu b'nachash hakadmaini. First snake, the original snake. Original's a bad word. First snake. This is what the Gemara says, Daftes is the Gemara. Shanas ha'neina v'ameh sheino shalai. He looked at something which isn't his. It's not fitting for him. What he asked for, listen good, Rabbi say. We're talking about the Nachash, soon we'll get to the current events. What the Nachash wanted, he didn't get. And what he had, he took away from him. The snake was king on all the animals and beasts. Not bad. But what happened when he looked? He wanted it. He looked at Adam in the garden. Achshav arata mikol haveim and mikol hachaya, curse from all the animals, etc. Ani amarti. It's a Mordechai Gemara just to see what Nachash had. And a lot of people that are jealous fit into this category. Forget to in a second. Ani amarti yahalech b'kayim eskufa, walk upright. The only animal that walked, animals, you're right, the animals walk, but the animal's head is always down. The only creature that walks with his head up is man. Now, you walked upright. Now you walk on your stomach. I said, eat what man eats. You can go to Lamare, you can go to Prime. You can eat at the Ramada. You can eat anywhere you want. Akshav. All the snake eats is dirt. Every snake eats dirt. Dog has dog food. Cat has cat food. Snake, dirt. For breakfast, lunch, and supper. I'm surprised he's not anorexic. But anyway, what did he say? What did Nachash say? It's all in the Gemara, I'm not saying anything of my own. Who am I? I guess, so Adam, I'm going to kill the man. Adam Marisha. I'm going to marry the woman. That's a stava. Nachash wanted the woman. Achshav. What's going to be now? Scene 2. Achshav. Hey, for us, is Ben Chobenish is going to be hatred, is going to be animosity. And between Chava's children and your progeny. That's the first Nachash. We got his biography already. The Gemara lists a few more people that fall into the trap of the Nachash. Kayin, Kairach, Bilam, Dayach, Itaifel. So I had a few hours, we give you a play-by-play of all of the individuals mentioned. Yechazi, Avshalom, Adoniyo, wanted to be king. I'll leave that alone for now. Uzziah was king, but he wanted to be king. Doesn't make a difference. Whatever, we'll leave it alone for now. Vahaman! Oh, how does Haman make this list? Shenasnu einayim b'ameh she'einay roilem. They looked at something which isn't fitting for them. What they asked for? No, lo nitan them. They didn't get, and what they had, they lost. Huh? So Haman is a disciple of the Nachash. I got to read you a few lines from Rabbi Yerucham. So Rabbi Yerucham was the Mashgiach in the Mir. In the 30s, and this is what he writes. Rabbi Yerucham page, Rabbi Yerucham from the Mir, Rabbi Yerucham page, Ayin Zayin, page 77 and 78. Another must read. It's Purim, you have days off next week, half a day Wednesday. You have time to find it, Rabbi Yerucham. I wish they wrote it in English, but no, what can I do? You guys are learning Torah, you got to read it in the Holy Tongue. Well, listen to what Rabbi Yerucham says. The difference, there's a few players on Purim. One of the players is Haman, we just spoke about. Another player is Esther. You can put Esther with Mordechai. You can put Achashverosh with Haman. But, okay, it's Megillas Esther, so it could be she's the main character, and it's what Haman wanted to do, so make it Esther and Haman, just to simplify things. Haman comes home. It's quite Ushrei, his wealth. V'raiv Bana, V'raiv. Look at the numerical value of the word V'raiv. It's 208. Haman had 208 children. The Gemara says on that Bertrum. But anyway, it's called Asher. Kidla HaMelech, whoa! He's the number 2 man over 127 nations. Wouldn't Trump want that? America, no. But 127 nations. Trump will take 10 or 20, he'll be happy. And I'm on 127. One Jid doesn't bow down to him. Whoa. But Haman had that ingredient of conceit, of haughtiness. What does Haman say? One Jew don't bow down. One kike doesn't bow down. It's all orphans. Dude, the whole world, you got whatever you want. This is, you mean to tell me, Haman, if one Jew is going to bow down to him, it's going to make him feel better? I can understand you tell me if Haman made it to be number 1 in Forbes 400, on Fortune 500, no. One Jew. He's an infidel. That's what he wants to bow down to him. I can understand, maybe whatever. A Jew doesn't bow down, whoa. That's what he's missing. That's what his ego needs. We got to tell you what tomorrow. Gemara says in Chulin. How do I know that Haman Minatayr Minayin? From where is there a reference to Haman in the Torah? So the Gemara says, Haman hates from the tree. When Hashem speaks to Adam, he says that you eat from the tree, which I told you not to eat. What does Haman have to do with the tree? So a few hundred years later, Haman tried to squash it. Adam could eat every single B'Shem Abyssal Zalman Meltzer, if you want the sauce. Abyssal Zalman Meltzer said Adam could eat whatever he wants. Every peach, pear, plum, pineapple, apple, green apple, yellow apple, red apple, whatever you call it, everything, every fruit, pink lady, whatever you want. One tree he can't eat from. Oh, that's what he wants. Even a vegan Forgot about the vegetable. Talk about the fruit, any vegetable you want. Even a vegan knows he can't. There's certain things he can eat, certain things he can't eat. Nay, I want what I can't have. That's Adam. I'm in eggs from the tree. That's Haman. One Jew doesn't bow down. That's Haman. The picture of Haman we have in the Megillah, time doesn't permit. We can tell you all the instances of Haman's gaiva. We'll give you just one more. He comes to Achashverosh that night. Who does the king want to do something good for? Me! Of course, me! Haman didn't think there was anybody else on planet Earth. You can write the 127 nations, 8 billion people, or close to 8 billion. Maybe in his day was a few less, I don't know. Wasn't there. Whatever it is, me. What would have happened if Haman would have not given? Haman gets up in the middle of the night. So he had trouble sleeping. I don't know if he took Simon next night or last night, but whatever it was, if his counsel didn't tell him to make a tree, he runs to Achashverosh in the middle of the night. Reb Yid or Reb Guy, Joe Guy, Harry Guy, Donald Guy. Why don't you wait till the morning? Wait till the morning. You have to wake up in the middle of the night. Whoa! You got to get the car to drive you down there. Wait till the morning. And he got home right away. He got embarrassed, whatever. Wait. Abyssal Savmonos. A little bit of patience. A little bit of patience. He tells him, Yas waits Gavayacha. And then he tells Hashem, I'm the only one invited to the party. Whoa. And when the king asks, Mayasa, whatever the king, Haman says right away, who does, believer, doesn't say it out loud. Haman didn't say out loud, does the king want to do good for believer? He thinks it. Oh, it's even worse than saying it. And the Yach writes, and the king tells him, do this to Mordechai the Jew. That's the story. It's one side of the coin. Another side to the coin. Esther. Listen to what it says about Esther. The flip side of the coin of Haman. What does the Megillah say about Esther? What was Esther's nature? What was Esther's schooling? What was Esther taught? When they ask her where you're from, she doesn't say the nation she's from. She doesn't say the people she's from. She doesn't say anything. That's not enough. We can tell you why too in a second. But what does Esther say? Like Big Shadover. What's Esther? Just like Haman's, the pasuk that probably everybody knows about Haman. Haman's matter is it's all worthless to me, unless that one Jaime bows down to me. Esther, it says in the Megillah, like Big Shadover. Doesn't ask for anything. She doesn't want anything. She's content with what she has. The bidiyuk, the exact opposite. If there were ever two opposite characters in one Megillah and one Parak Navi, Haman, the conceited one, and Esther, the humble one. Doesn't say anything. Why doesn't Esther talk? Esther doesn't talk because Esther is descended from a mother, Rachel. Rachel didn't talk. Rachel's occupation, she kept her mouth shut. We're going to learn in this week's parasha. You should say that Bertrum didn't say anything on the parasha. We don't want that to happen. But when the Kohen Gadol, last week, combination, but Gadol last week, he goes in this week, when the Kohen Gadol, when he wore on his chest plate, Binyamin's sign was Yoshvei. If you look at the word Yoshvei, it's two words, Yesh Peh. Yesh Peh. Yudshin is first two. Peh, he has a mouth. But what does it mean he has a mouth? You have to know when to shut up. You don't have a mouth. When you have nothing to say, you don't have a mouth. And then you have a mouth. You're stupid. You can't say name. Yesh Peh when you have what to say. And you shut up. going from Binyamin down, or from Rachel down, that's where Esther comes. She didn't talk. She doesn't say where she's from, what nation, who are you. Mordechai tells her to be quiet. She keeps quiet. That's the guy. Like Big Shadava, she doesn't want this, and she doesn't want that. Like Big Shadava, she could have whatever she wanted. She could have had red door, white linen, Revlon, whatever you want. Chanel, Coco. I don't know if they made a chocolate yet. Maybe they should. But anyway, that's her whole life. Esther's life is 180 degrees apart from Haman's life. And that's all Megillah. In simple English, that's what Rabbi Yerucham says, not me. Yerucham says Haman is one piece of gaiva, which you learn from the snake. But if you want something which isn't yours, you lose what you got. There's a Marduk Gemara. Before we get to the Rashi, I think the Gemara is even more Marduk. The Gemara says it's Shabbos. The Gemara, which I think a lot of people learned or a lot of people know, the Gemara says over here, listen to this Gemara. We'll get to this in a second. Marduk Gemara. Chaf He. The Gemara asks Akasha, Here's a washer. Who's a nosh? Who's rich? We're not quoting the Mishnah in Pirkei Avos now. We're reading the Gemara. That's what the Gemara says. Kol sheyesh le'nachas ruach ba'ashra. A person that has contentment in his wealth. Rega. What does Rashi say? Samech b'chelko. He rejoices in his lot, if it's a little or if it's a lot. If it's mucho or if it's poquito. That's an ashir. Rabbi, you just said Ezewash, who's a rich man. And you're telling me if he has a little bit, he's a rich man. He's the richest man in the world. Because he knows whatever he has is what God wants him to have. That's Esther. That's Esther. That's the whole story. Shouldn't use the word story. That's the whole Megillah Esther.
The Gans Megillah.
The Gans Megillah. Yema'atim Harbe. God can give everybody. I once said somebody, and then we've spoken about it. We always speak about it. God can make everybody in this room richer than Bill Gates, quicker than I can snap my finger. So I once asked a 21-year-old kid whose aspiration is money, 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 money. Each dreams, money, 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 only money. There's nothing else besides money. I said, can God make you richer than Bill Gates? In a split second. He got the right answer. So why doesn't he? Why doesn't the Abishter make you richer than Bill Gates? Close to everybody. What's a many yeshiva too? I don't care if you learn risk, Ponovitz, I don't care where you learn. God can make everybody in this room richer than Bill Gates and still have money left over. That's the Chiddush. I once said years ago, let's say God would run out of money. It'll never happen. But let's say he could print the money. So God can print as much money as he wants. Make everybody richer than Bill Gates. Make everybody richer than Warren Buffett. Why doesn't he? He told you. And your Navi says. And the guy got it right. If it was good for a person to be rich, God will give him mucho dinero. And if it's not good, or because it's not good for a person to be rich, he doesn't give him mucho dinero. It's very simple. It's a ton of the Bailey Yo. Because we spoke about it recently. If not, we'll tell you now. They asked Eliyahu Hanavi if God created the whole world for Torah. And this is the Yontif of Purim, is Torah, Torah, Torah. If God created the whole world for Torah, why doesn't he make Talmidei Chachamim rich? I don't understand. You give Gates money, you give Buffett money, you give the cousins over there in Arabia money. What for? You know, money. There is some logic. There's a perfect logic. Some of the logic, some people can understand a little bit of the logic that Hashem ran. You give him so much money for? What's Pshat? So much money. Says Eliyahu Navi in Perek Gimel, Eliyahu Rav of Perek Gimel, look it up for homework. He has if a Ben Torah would have money, he would be Pesheya, he closed the Gemara and leave the base medrash. So it's a person's good. If you had Eliyahu Navi here, I can tell you where it is. That's the bottom line. It's not good for you. Not good for you. A person has to realize, whatever God gives me is good. God doesn't give it to me, it's not good. It's not good. He can make everybody, he can do whatever he wants. It's not good. So the Hanavi says, I don't got to tell you more than Eliyahu Hanavi tells me. That's the bottom line. We're getting back to this. And he says, in ma'at, in ma'arbe. So be b'chelka. Don't make difference what you have. This is what God wants you to have. The same God that gives you 1 or 2 or 3 rooms could give you 10 or 12 or 14 rooms. You can't do it. He can do what he wants. The boss is still in control. He's still the CEO. The CEO, whatever other titles you want to give him. And that's what it says when you learn about Yaakov and Esav. What's the difference? What does Esav say? Esav says, Yesh li roiv. I got mucho, mucho, mucho. Yaakov says, Yesh li koil. What's the difference? It's a state of mind. It's an inner contentment. It's an inner peace that a person that's happy with what he has. If you know that this is what God wants you to have, how can you not be in peace? You cannot be people run. They spoke about Philadelphia not too long ago. If you know what I mean, good. Whoever knows what I mean knows what I mean. But in Philadelphia, there's a piece of paper in Philadelphia. I'm not saying I want that piece of paper. I'd rather take 1 franc and a whole piece of paper that's over there. But that's the pursuit of happiness. I can't pursue happiness. Give me a franc when I have it in my pocket. It's worth money. But Al Capone in Philadelphia, it made the news. But somebody once said years ago, the reason why is the bell cracked in Philadelphia? Because democracy's cracked. Democracy's cracked, the bell is cracked, and Philadelphia's still making the news. What to pursue? There's no pursuit. Happiness is right here, right now. I'm not missing anything. That's happiness. It's a difference what the banker book says. What difference how much real estate you have? It's the olive bays. It's the olive bays of Purim. This was Haman. Haman was 1 piece of gaiva, 1 piece of conceit, 1 piece of haughtiness. He lost his life. But before he lost his life, he was all the way up here. The Vilna Gaon says on the verse, before you get broken, before you get smashed, crushed, v'chule, and all the synonyms you can think of, you're way up high. That's Haman. The whole other, I don't know how much time I have left, but I just, to say something and not explain it well, but another reason what the fish has, since we spoke about Esther, we speak about the Jewish people, there's modesty. Nobody sees the fish. Modesty. So, a whole other shmooz, maybe another time. But since I heard that you're not going to get a shmooz next week, I'll just tell you one of the things it says in Vayakel, Kisisa, by the mirrors. I'll leave alone the mirrors. But the one thing I'll just tell you in 1 sentence, what Moshe didn't want to take when the woman made donations for the mirrors at the end of next parsha. The Maris HaTzoyvos, Hashem says, this is beloved. This is more beloved to me than anything anybody gave. And the mirrors have no size. It could be as big as you want it to be. Sneeze. That's Esther. She could have what she wanted. She sat what a lot of women, even a lot of Jewish women would want, all the perfume and all the makeup and all the other chazirah you could think of. Hey, like big shadar, I don't want anything. I don't want anything. And if we learn that from the fish, and that's why Purim, because Purim is the month of Torah. Purim is Torah. I know everybody goes home after Purim. If you're in yeshiva, maybe a day or 2 before Purim. But for sure, the day or 2 after Purim, everybody's out of here. So whatever.
Hope not.
Okay, well, you're talking about to mature adults. I'm talking to the younger generation. Kids are different. They think, oh, gotta run to America. Somebody just came back from America, told me this morning, you know what the difference is? In America, you have no kaiso. and you have no mamaruch. Let's keep it simple. The impression of a little child, first time in Shmooz Lawrence. No kaisu, and no mamaruch. There's no wall.
Western Wall.
And there's no Rachel's tomb. When you're in Jerusalem, you get into the car Saturday night. You go to the wall, you go to Rachel's tomb, and if you're lucky, you go to David HaMelech's place. You got a trifecta. You don't have that in America. Maybe you got a big house. But God can knock that down too, as he did back in the day. Probably 15, 17 years ago. It's already 17 years. Unbelievable, right? 17 years ago. Not going on 17 years. Wow. Time flies. That's the bottom line. That's why Purim is dogma. A person should realize what the dogma have. Dogma have the best life. And Ben Torah has the best life. Nobody has a better life than a person that sits and learns. It may look better, you may think he's got a few more pennies than you. Habibi. I don't want to say a story I heard last night because I don't know who may be listening, so I can't say the story. But I'm telling you, if you don't give your money to Torah, it goes other places which aren't 1/1 billionth as good as Torah. Hashem Yiracheh. Hashem should have mercy on all Jews. Hashem should give us, let all Jews see the light of Torah. Just end up with one word. One word. You say it every Saturday night. You say it, Haydu Maisa, Ayra. And the Gemara says, Ayra is Torah. Right? Wanted to get a Rebbe. Because you want to tell me the Jews had Torah. Tell me the Jews had Torah. Why do you got to tell me A equal B? Tell me the Jews had B. That's what you want to tell me. The Maisa Torah. And I'm worried to give out the Rebbe. He said, if we would say the Jews had Torah, you could think there's another light in the world. Whatever the light is, I don't know. But when you tell me that Torah equals light, you're telling me there's one light in the world. And that's what a person has to know every Saturday night, much Shabbos. And you have to know every Monday, a person has to know that every day, and for sure you have to know that in Adar. Since you give everybody's Adar the Shmaya, to use Adar to grow. And remember, the last day of Adar is the Super Bowl. And everybody wants to play the Super Bowl. Everybody. Not everybody does, because everybody left. So if you leave before the end of the season, you don't play in the World Series. You don't play in the whatever. You don't play Bama. Got it? You don't play Alabama, for those that know what I'm talking about. But anyway, since you give everybody Siyata D'Shmaya, we should do what we're supposed to do. Sing the Shir.